Hello, my friends. We're back today with the last thoughts about this week's lesson. We've been looking a lot at God and emotions or feelings, and I know there's a group of people who feel very uncomfortable with the notion that emotions form part of our spiritual life and the way that we can actually connect to God. And to be fair, I can understand why. Emotions don't always have a good reputation. Because, for example, would you ever make a big decision in your life based on a feeling? Or would you make an important financial decision based on an emotion? Probably not, because our emotions are intrinsically irrational. Even anatomically, they are found in a different part of our thinking brain than our thinking brain. So even biologically, they don't have a rational base. But just because they are irrational doesn't automatically make them bad. Because you see, God structured our brain with the capacity to feel both superficial things and also very deep things. And the Bible is loaded with examples of God and what could be seen as emotions. Jesus wept in John 11:35. Mark 6:34 says Jesus felt compassion. In Hosea 11 verse 1, God says, "When Israel was a child, I loved him." In the Old Testament, God often describes himself as slow to anger. And we could go on and on with examples like these. At the very least, God tries to communicate and connect with us through emotions. Because you see, people who are overly logic and rational typically struggle to have meaningful relationships and feel connected to others. But then on the other hand, people who are overly emotionally driven in their behaviors tend to have more unstable relationships and also struggle to connect with others in the long term. Since God is a relational God, the best way to approach the relationship with him is both rationally and emotionally, because we are designed in our brains to function best when we use those both parts. At the end of the day, God's ultimate goal is our salvation, and he will use whatever it takes to reach us. God's way of communicating with us is through our brain, both our thinking as well as our feeling brain. And with that, we come to the end of our nugget for today as well as for this week. Remember to join your local Sabbath school this coming Sabbath, and hopefully we'll see you again next week. God bless.